Native image ads is one of the most underrated ways to scale e-commerce brands with Google Ads right now. Here's one of our clients that actually made $390,000 in 60 days. And in the last 90 days, another one of our clients has made $111,000 from this format, spending $65K, and we've scaled them from literally zero. In this video, I'm going to show you how native image ads actually work on Google. 3 angles we see that are performing, how to match each angle to the right landing page, how to structure the campaigns, and how to actually scale the winners once the data starts to roll in. For those that don't know, native ads appear in demand gen. In-stream ads, short ads, UGC, VSLs, creator content, all of that matters. But there is another side of demand gen that a lot of brands are still underusing, and that is image formats in YouTube in-feed and Google Discover. So let's start with YouTube in-feed. These can actually show in the YouTube search results, the YouTube home feed, and the watch next feed. What you'll notice about these is that these are a thumbnail environment. People are scanning quickly. They're looking for something interesting to watch. So when your image ad shows here, it is not just competing with other ads, it's competing with organic YouTube thumbnails. That is why I sort of like to think of YouTube in feed as thumbnail advertising. Your image needs to basically just stop the user as he or she scans for whatever to watch next. It needs to create enough curiosity that someone pauses for half a second and then reads the headline or an image so enticing it forces them to click. You basically need a strong reason for the user to choose your ad over something else to watch. The other placement is Google Discover. This is a completely different environment. If you have the Google app on either Android or iPhone, you've seen this before. It's a place where people are scrolling through content cards, articles, recommendations, blog style content, topics that you may be interested in. So here, the ad needs to feel like something that belongs in the feed of content. And this brings me to the concept of creative matching. A bold offer image might work inside YouTube in feed because it behaves like a strong thumbnail, but in Discover, a blog style image feels just more natural. Or an article style image might work really well in Discover, but not pop up enough in YouTube. So the first principle is the image has to fit the problem. The headline has to fit the image, and the landing page has to fit the headline. And there's basically 3 native image ad angles that we've seen doing well in the accounts I showed you earlier. The informational angle, the comparison angle, and the offer focused angle. So let's get into the demand gen campaign setup. Here we have an example of a native ad campaign that's already been set up. And as you can see within the demand gen, you can actually choose the channels that you want to be targeting. In this situation, we have YouTube in-feed and we have YouTube Discover. So these are the 2 placements, but I want you to focus on the core components of the ads, because the way that these placements work, Google and YouTube will use a combination of the assets. As you can see here, we have a set of images. You can actually have up to 20 images, but also you can have up to 5 headlines and 5 descriptions. And this is important because Google will actually use these to create different combinations of your ads. Here's examples of how these are actually presented on the feed. So one user might see, let's say, image A with headline 1. Another user might see image B with headline 3. Another user might see image C with a different description. So when you're assembling these ads, the goal isn't to create one perfect ad. And to be honest, this is where most advertisers actually create problems for themselves. They upload a product photo, then a lifestyle image, then a random offer headline, then let's say a curiosity headline, then a vague description, and they just send everything to the same fucking product page. So Google technically has assets to test in this case, but because the different intents are mixed up, the message is so fucking messy. So one combination might look educational, another might look like a sale, another might look like, let's say, a product pitch, and then the landing page might not match any of them. So that is how you get weak data, and it just makes it a lot harder for Google to optimize. Instead, you want to build in clusters. One cluster for informational ads, one cluster for comparison ads, and one cluster for offer focused ads. And ideally, each cluster should have its own image styles, headlines, descriptions, and landing page. Now, let me quickly show you how to pick which one of these angles you want to go for, because the right angle is not the same for every brand. First, you need to understand the buying behavior in your category. That's key. There are 2 places I always start. Number 1 is keyword research. Pull up Google Keyword Planner or any keyword tool and look at what people in your category are actually searching for. If you see high search volume around informational queries, things like supplements to help sleep, best magnesium for sleep, or relief from muscle cramps, that tells you people are actively researching before they buy. That is a signal that informational or comparison angles are going to have people actually interested in that topic. The second place to look is your search terms report inside Google Ads. If you are already running campaigns that run on Google Search Network, your search terms report is a gold mine for angle ideas. What you want to look at is the queries that are driving clicks and conversions. Are people searching for comparisons like best knee massager for seniors or knee massager versus foam roller? Or are they searching for information, things like, does knee massage actually work? Or why does my bad knee hurt after exercise? You can actually filter for keywords like how to, top, or versus. In these examples, we can already see for this brand, their ads have been triggered by best red light therapy mask or infrared versus red light therapy. Your search terms report tells you what frame of mind some of your prospects will be in or can be in. in. And if you build native image ad angles that match those frames, you have a much higher chance for these native ads to actually work. Starting with the informational angle. An informational ad is built around a problem, outcome, myth, mistake, or piece of education. The goal is not to get someone to buy immediately. The goal is to make them curious enough to click. And here you can actually see a few example headlines that fit this type of ad. Doctors explain the hidden reason why most knee pain treatments don't work. And we have another one. Why are more people switching to this sleep solution? Improve recovery and reduce soreness in 10 minutes a day. Notice what these do. They don't say buy this product. They open a loop, which is perfect for Discover and YouTube in feed because people are already browsing content, so they're open to consuming information. Now, the second angle is comparison. So comparison ads are built around rankings, reviews, recommendations, best of lists, and product comparisons. Just a few examples. The 7 best recovery tools for active adults. We reviewed 42 sleep products. These were the clear winners. Physical therapists are calling these 6 massages a game changer for mobility after 40. So these work because people like shortcuts. They want to help deciding. They want to know which option is best before they spend money. And Google can be very good at matching these people through in-market audiences and other audiences you set within your demand gen campaigns. Now, the third angle is offer focus, and this is the most direct. The ad is just built around the deal. Examples could be save 25% off today, limited time bundle offer, buy one get one free shipping this week. This works best when the audience already understands the category or product and they just need a reason to act. And to be honest, these are likely going to be warmer audiences. All right, now let's dissect an informational native image ad. For this example, we're going to use a knee pain headline. Doctors explain the hidden reason why most knee pain treatments don't work. This is a strong informational headline because it does 3 things. It calls out a problem, it creates authority, and it opens curiosity. So someone with knee pain sees this and they think, what is the hidden reason? And that's a click. Now, if you were running this ad, you'd need images that support this headline. So I've got a few ideas for you. The first image direction is problem focused visual. That could be someone holding their knee while walking downstairs, someone sitting on the edge of the bed, maybe someone pausing during a normal daily activity because their knee hurts. The reason this works is kind of obvious. The person sees the image and immediately understands a problem because they might be going through similar shit. Another direction you can go is clinical or editorial. This could be a close-up of the knee, maybe an anatomy style visual, a doctor style image, or something that feels educational or clinical. This works especially well for Discover because it feels closer to article content. And the third image direction is curiosity driven. So this could be an unusual visual related to the problem, something that makes the person stop and sort of wonder what the fuck they're looking at. The key is not to give the whole answer away in the image. The image should support the curiosity, not solve it. Now we need descriptions. This angle, the description should reinforce the educational promise. A few examples: discover the approach helping people recover faster and feel better day to day. Another, based on methods trusted by professionals and experts. And another one, for people who want to stay active, mobile, and pain-free for longer. Notice how these all stay in a similar lane. They all support the educational angle. And as I mentioned before, because this is an informational ad, you don't want to go straight to the product pages. The user clicked because they wanted information, so the landing page should continue that education. There are 2 main options we've seen work here: an advertorial or a quiz. An advertorial works because it just feels like the natural next step. The headline creates curiosity, the advertorial answers it, then it introduces the product as the solution. A quiz works because it makes the experience feel personalized. Let's be honest, most of these quizzes have the fucking same final answer or the same final landing page or the same answer, but it creates a personalized feeling. Instead of throwing someone straight into a product page, you sort of guide them through questions and then recommend the next step or the best product for them. So the full funnel looks like this: your informational native ad to an advertorial or quiz, then the product. Let's move on to the comparison angle. So let's have a look at this headline: top chefs in the world review 5 pans. This is a strong comparison headline because it has authority, it's very specific, and it just creates curiosity. It also references chefs. It can be Iron Chefs or Michelin star chefs, or it could be celebrity chefs that they know. But also the headline says how many products were reviewed, and it makes the viewer want to know which ones made the list. And again, for the images and headlines, you want to support the comparison while keeping curiosity. A few ideas for you guys to test: editorial product layout with multiple products shown together, lifestyle comparison images that show evaluation happening, or side-by-side comparisons with clear visual hierarchy. And here the full funnel looks a little different. So you would have your comparison native ad, and this leads to a comparison or ranked review page. Obviously your product should be ranking number 1 here. Then if they click into your product, they get pushed to a product page. Now the offer focused angle. So this is the most direct out of the 3. The ad is built around the deal. The image exists to communicate the product and the offer very quickly. The headline is direct correct, and the landing page you use reinforces the sale. So this works best when the person already understands the product or category or your brand in general. For these ads, it's a much simpler approach, and to be honest, probably something you've seen running on Meta. You can use direct headlines like save 25% today, limited time bundle offer, or free shipping this week, and you just support them with urgency in the description, such as limited inventory available or offer ends soon. The landing page should be a dedicated sale page or bundle page, and the person clicked because of the deal, so it showed it immediately. Any mismatch will create friction. So while you do have these 3 different angles, the same angle can perform differently depending on where it shows. On YouTube in feed, we've seen stronger problem visuals with more contrast because people are scanning thumbnails quickly. On Google Discover, editorial and article style images tend to work better because the environment feels more like content. So ideally, build 2 versions of each angle from the start and let the data show you which placement performs better. Don't just go off instinct. And that's why I was showing you all the different image styles you can match to your angles, because you want options here. When it comes to the campaign structure, don't throw every angle and every placement into one campaign. One parallel campaign, one per angle and primary placement. Name them clearly so the account stays readable. Each campaign should have one clear job. This is what lets you actually see what's working. If informational ads are getting clicks but not converting, you'll know the advertorial needs work. If comparison ads are performing well, you can build more of them. Now, when it comes to targeting new customers, you want to start broad with your targeting here, but give Google some information such as interest, demographics, things like that. I go in depth on some of the audiences you can run in our full demand gen video. The long story short, you want to give YouTube some guidance, but just don't restrict it too much. And when something wins, scale it gradually. A good rule of thumb is increasing budgets by around 20% every 3 to 5 days, as long as performance holds. Demand gen creatives are volatile, so treat every winner as the start of a new creative test. If there's ever been a time to start advertising on YouTube, it's now. Google has made a ton of improvements to it in the last year, and if you want help implementing this within your ad account properly, I'm more than open to have a chat with you and see if it makes sense for us to manage your account. I'll take a look at your Google ad account, run my eyes over it, and just give you my 2 cents. The consult's free of charge. The link to book a time with myself is in the description. Thanks for watching.